Hello. Welcome to Super Right
Now
with Pepe and
Fiona.
And today we are going to talk about.
I don't know. Yes, I know, but that's something that Pepe must say.
Yeah, okay.
I just need to say
infidelity and cheating, because we kind of talked about it a little bit on the last one.
Really,
and
we're going to talk about that.
Yes.
Like we had a huge fight about it. I was team Shakira all the time.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
And
okay,
you are not.
That was
and
the
if
previous
you are,
one.
yeah, well.
So now we're going to talk about.
Yeah, but at least say, hey, have a good day. I hope you're having a good week. Welcome to our show.
Yeah.
If you have a horrible, shitty week, welcome here to this, your safe space where maybe we had the worst week ever, but here we are.
Yes, here we are. So talking about Shakira putting her personal stories into fruition, money. And talking about her family and things like that. And I think it's absolutely wrong. And how would I say? Well, first of all, like not classy, but like just not.
Yeah. That's nothing
it's
about.
It's just bitter human behavior.
No, well, but if I would have been bitter. But anyways, we need to move on.
Yes.
She's moving on with 18 million euros.
Yeah.
In her pocket, so that's good.
Good for her. Yeah.
Piqué is leaving minus 100 million just because a lot of sponsorships are removing the sponsorship towards Cosmos.
Yeah. Okay. So let's move away from Shakira and Piqué and let's talk about cheating and expectations in the couple, because what we know about what we consider as cheating is basically breaking the agreement that you have, I would say, based on the marriage rule that we have in modern society. And
not
and
modern
this,
society, like since the church.
Yeah,
honestly,
exactly. So we were programmed, or we just followed the same path for years and years. And I think there are some similarities with the fact about, like, how, like, obviously now, hopefully, actually, but homosexuality is way more accepted than it was 50 years ago, and that you can come out and have a different way of living compared to what was expected before, and that was causing a lot of harm and issues and like very dramatic things. I think it's the same now for marriage. I mean, if you want to, it's not a comparison, but just to say how we progress and how we evolve as a society. We just like set the standards of what a relationship between a couple should be. And now I believe that now we're really understanding what is the real meaning of cheating. And to me, and then we'll have your perspective.
Oh, thank you, because I was like, what I am doing here? I'm just admiring Pepe.
To me, taking everything into consideration and taking, also past experiences, it's really what we don't like is when somebody is lying to you and it's betraying you. It's basically you have an agreement.
Lie, yeah.
You have an agreement, and if this agreement is you need to be 100% faithful to me and only have me as a sexual partner, only have me as a love interest, then yes, like the first time that something goes out of this way, then it is cheating. But I think the expectations from people now are changing, and you have a lot of people that are saying, okay, you know what, you can have, I understand whatever your sexual needs or your emotional needs, and I understand that I accept that I cannot fulfill them 100%, and it's okay, as long as we remain together and as long as we agree. And I think now society is a bit changing and is going through like a trauma phases where we don't know about genders and pronouns and what we're trying to find our way into something that is more understanding, and it's less based on church standards where, if I think this way I'm going to hell. So we need to redefine what are basically crimes.
Because like many years ago, not many years, centuries ago, church established monogamy. because they were losing assets when, like the king or the patriarch was marrying different women. So it's like, okay, we cannot lose our assets or our money. So that's why the monogamy was instated by church. So the money, the assets, everything remains on the same family toward centuries. And it's well known that by nature, human beings, we are not monogamous. Our nature, our instinct is to go and find, especially for men, right? I'm not saying that women, we are not looking for that, but for men, it's on their instinct to try to get more female
procreate.
or procreate. Yes, that's the and there's a documentary in Netflix, and not only in Netflix, like you can find a lot of studies explaining why human beings, we are not monogamous. So constantly, and after the church, because the church centuries ago was the number one institution on earth, so all those habits and all those thoughts were creating a mindset that, believe it or not, it becomes part of our DNA.
Yes.
So
It's not believe it or not. I mean, that's
for
proven.
years, we have been fighting the instinct of finding another partner when we already have one. And it's a sin, because I was educated as Catholic. It's a sin to cheat. It's a sin to lie, which I think lie it's bad. I don't like people who lie. Cheat, it becomes one with another.
Yeah, I mean, there's a problem with the root of the actual word.
But what I am
cheating,
trying to say is, like, if I am trying to finish my point. Thank you. When we are in a society that truly believes that you are going to remain with the same person for the rest of your life, then becomes a battle of what you need and what your mind and soul needs and what the other person and society needs you to be. And that's when cheating becomes an issue, because then you break a home, then you break a person because you lie to that person. So it's not only creating the lie, like the lie by itself, you're creating a storm in a family. That's my point of view. Maybe a lot of people would not understand me.
I think everybody can understand that, hopefully.
Not understand, maybe agree on what I am saying.
Well, hopefully everybody agrees, yeah.
That open relationships nowadays, it would be a better option to not create broken homes for kids or for entire human. Like, if you are in a society where open marriage is more open, then you have more chances to succeed as a family. Of course, if you have rules and the basic stuff, which is communication. That's all.
But you see, like, that's the. So first of all, I wanted to talk about evolution.
Wow, Darwin.
No,
Are you here, Darwin? Are you with us?
No, because we know that we're a very young species compared to the age of the Earth. So I think for the past 2,000 years, we already changed a lot, and that the way we behave is because of the way we made rules. And if we were listening to our animal instincts, we would not have just one partner. And actually, we do not have only one partner. It's a lie. Because ideally, right, if you listen to religion, you should have only one partner, be intimate only with one partner, and stay with that partner for the rest of your life. And that's marriage. Mm-hmm. So we need to redefine. It's like the word cheating is not true for people that actually agree to have different relationships
to the relationship.
Yes. So that's not cheating. That's just like having an agreement,
and understanding
in
what is going on,
and going according to that. So yeah, it's part of our DNA, but we know as I believe in evolution, we know that our DNA evolves depending on the practice and the way we are living for a long period of time.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say for the past 2,000 years or even more, we were based on the life structure or plan that is like with only one person, so monogamous. But also the fact that in our nature, as you said, men need to procreate, so that means that they need to find several women to be able to do that.
I was about
But
to
as
say
the
another
world
one.
evolved, like if you think about evolution, if we are too many on this earth, maybe naturally we will go back to only have
One partner.
one partner because it's for the benefit of the planet.
But that was if we were living like 100 centuries ago. Like now we understand that if it's an open relationship, it's not just because you want to spread your seed and have kids. That maybe that was the understanding in in the
It's not
beginning of the
thing,
years.
it's the nature.
Yeah, well, the nature, but now your nature is not that you want to like spread your seeds.
But
Your
that-
nature is to fulfill the need to be wanted, to be desired as a man, and as a woman too.
But you get pleasure out of it.
Yeah,
and,
yeah,
and
yeah,
the
you-
really reason why you get pleasure out of it by nature's point is that because they wanted to make it positive. Well, nature wants to make it a very positive experience, so you want to procreate.
Yes, but now I think with all the information that we have since I don't know 100 century years ago, is that we want to be in an open relationship for those that they want to feel desire, because it is stupid thinking that you are enough for one person, at least in my point of view. It's not that you are not enough. It's just because you cannot fulfill 100% of the needs of one person.
No, and life is
Such
limited,
as
right?
the other person.
Life is limited, right?
Life is
So
limited.
why would you limit yourself during
Yeah.
that time?
And the other person
Friend.
cannot fulfill all your needs. Maybe at the beginning, because there is infatuation, etc., then you feel that those needs are fulfilled. But once that pass and the daily life, the monotony, then you realize, yeah, I still love this person, but I have these needs that I was not able to see before. And then you start to having this battle with yourself, like, oh, I start to like that person.
Guilt trip. And
The guilt trip. And it's not about feeling guilty. It's taking responsibility of what is coming next.
all of that,
So-
it comes down to all of that is
Spread
the
your
root.
seed.
The cause. What happened is that equality movement that just ruined everything.
What are you talking about?
As soon as women wanted to
Yeah,
have
shut up.
equality,
Cállate.
it just changed the roles, and now
Because for
now we
men-
have a woman like you talking like that. It was really clear before. The man was the head, the king of the household,
The king
and he
of
could
the
have
the asshole? The king of the asshole?
and he could
the
he could
household.
have mistresses without the woman. Well,
No, because
she
for
could
men-
she could be hurt in
Because
silence.
for
She
men-
could be hurt in silence,
Suffering and
yes,
cutting her
and
veins.
not divorcing because she could not have anything if she was not married. So that was great.
You know
that
what?
was a great
Because when men
foundation for everything.
cheat, when men is cheating, it's like, oh yeah, he's the man. He's an alpha man. He has 3 women. Oh wow, the alpha man. But if it's a woman, she's a whore. She has a family. Why she didn't thought about that? Oh, what a whore. Like like the
Double
the
standards?
double standards. So
Yeah.
now that puts me back. Imagine if Shakira was the one cheating on Piqué. It would be like, oh, Shakira, like you are against her for only making a song about how she feels,
No,
the
I like her.
betrayed,
If she listens to me right now, we can
the
get together,
betray,
Shakira.
and
I don't
how
know
she
her.
feels hurt. But if the thing would have been the other way around, everyone would have like, oh, how can she do that? She has 2 kids, blah blah blah. So that's the thing. Like now, maybe equality, I don't know. But if you want that, you
Okay,
have to have
we're
the
not at that place.
conversation.
Like 20 years ago, maybe 30 years ago, but I don't think right now a lot of people are thinking this way, or they are on their way to
Having this conversation.
to be 6 feet under. Like they are well on the way to like, I don't think it's the case anymore.
So I think when you know yourself and you know where are you going to be in 5, 10, 11, 20 years from now with the person that you are right now. Right? So you know Pepe.
Okay, but like yes. So,
So
what I wanted to say is that before
I'm the
we
best.
were living in a society that was messed up because it was not equal, but on top of that, and based on standards of hunting and gathering and things like that we don't need anymore, and basically it's the hypocrisy towards that. Like it was accepted by the man would have different needs. Oh, he's traveling, or he's he's working a lot, and the woman, she stays at home, and so all of this is gone. And fortunately, so we have equality, and now women can also listen to their needs or be heard about their needs. So we're trying to, and a lot of, and like right now, especially when you hear about David Tate or whatever, there's a lot of defensive movements coming from the men saying, no, it's been like that for years, we need to be alpha, because they don't accept that we're going to be a society that is going to be more mixed and
sorry, it's just because I will forget, and I was very interested in that. You told me once that you met a guy that belonged to an alpha male group that they gathered.
Yeah, when we went to a basketball game, after we went to this bar at the and there was this guy that went to the game, and they met because they were part of this group from a guy on YouTube that was like alpha males group. And do you remember this guy? Do you remember who he was?
I remember you told me about him a few years ago.
But you were there when I talked to him. But you were not paying attention.
Yeah. I remember we were on
because this guy was the stereotype.
Yes, I remember him.
How can I say it?
Like an alpha, like he doesn't.
No. He was not representing physically what we think an alpha male is. He was representing physically what we think are these guys that don't know what is their place in society as a man anymore. So they don't dare to talk to women. They don't know what, like, they are just like, they're
dull. They are dull.
They're too much on their screen, too much screen time, and not enough trying to discover the world. So because they're online all the time, where do they find their solution? Online. And so they go to these alpha male groups that gives them all this, build up this confidence.
They enable them.
That they have an inner power just because they are males. And so that is, I think, like the last fight that they're trying to have, because they want to be the hunter or whatever. And it's the same talk we have, the same thought I had about, we're not going to talk about it today, but because of ChatGPT and all the way you see it as people are going to be stupid, or it's a leverage. Now we're going to go to a higher ground. And for me, it's the same. It's like you were expecting us to hunt. We don't have to hunt anymore. So our role has changed.
Yeah.
Right? So we have to build up different expectations.
We expect a man that it's,
up
or whoever is approaching you, that it's at your same level of openness or mindset, charisma or not, whatever are your standards. That's what I think about these alpha male meetings, because they thought, or they think that they are not, how do I say this? Heard, yeah. And because whoever they are trying to approach, mainly women, they think that they think more of themselves. So they find this place to be enabled to be part of a group that are going to encourage them. No, you are the alpha male. You got this, man. You got this.
Yeah, but from a man point of view, and like a single man point of view, it's I understand that, because when you also
as well,
there is a common delusion right now because of Instagram, because of all the influencers, and you see them living like they have the time of their life, even though a lot of them You hear a suicide like every month, but there's a delusion. And you remember I told you about this guy from Atlanta. He passed away now, but he was just asking women, "What do you want? Like, what
Your expectations.
what are your requirements?" So he needs to be 6 feet tall. He needs to be like this, like this,
Six
like this,
figures.
and and needs to earn more than $300,000. And he was telling them, "Oh, but do you know that's 0.5% of male?" And like basically, did you look at yourself? What is your education? What do you have to provide to them? It's because there is like also women are creating that. I think it's also like basically feeding the alpha male movement, because when you see a woman that is a bit educated, that earns a good salary or whatever, then or not, or if they are good looking, they have expectations of a man that men cannot provide. Most of them, 80% of them, cannot provide, and so now they need to lie, they need to fool them in order to get them. And once they have them, they are not happy because say, you fooled me. Say, yes, because of your expectations. And so I think I sent you like this female delusion calculator. Did you see that? So it's based on that. It was based on this thing when they don't realize what percentage of society of available male they're trying to find. So it's based on age, race, minimum height, minimum income, and that's it. And so then it tells you if what is the percentage of society, and if single or not. So let's say, what are you looking for? Like, let
Peace.
us know. No. Like a man, age of a man. What should be the age?
Between 42 and 48.
42 and 48.
Yes.
Okay.
42, 48.
Okay. And should married or exclude married?
Between the age of that, it should be not married, of course.
Okay.
Or they want to be divorced.
Race, white, black, Asian, or any color?
Any color.
Okay. Minimum height?
At least 5'9".
Okay. 5'9". Should we exclude obese?
Yes.
Okay.
I myself, I do exercise. So
based on your now, because I know you're very you don't have super high standards like other women. So let's say
high standards. Yes, I do have. High
well, we
standards.
do have different high standards, but so let's talk about income. Okay. To live your ideal life, how much should the man that you look for should make? And based on your ideal life, not the minimum that you accept, based on your ideal life. Here it's minimum, but I know that you would be like
200,000, between 150 and 200,000.
Okay, we're going to put 200,000.
Okay.
So it's a male, age 42 to 48, any color, 5'9" minimum, not obese, 200 minimum salary, right? So
I'm fucked. Go back in 300 years.
So the result is, according to statistical data, the probability of a guy in the US male population age 42 to 48 meets your standard is 0.17%.
How much? Sorry?
0.17%. That means 1.7 male out of 1,000.
Okay, well, I still have a chance.
So your delusion score is 4 out of 5, which means that you're a cat enthusiast.
Is it? Well, it's just like my standards do not come from income.
No, but I mean, like, honestly, like your standards are pretty like
realistic.
No, yes, because first of all, you go in the age group where people are making more money. When we ask a 20-year-old and she wants to find a 30-year-old male, not obese, not married, making over 200,000, that's like, exactly.
That's stupid. But again, I don't know what I was watching. This a 50-year-old man. He was complaining about, I have this gold digger. She left me because of this and that. And she was gorgeous. She was 20 something. And we're like, okay, you want to have not a gold digger, a woman that it's reliable, is smart, and fulfill your life. Then you will find a woman of your age that it's well educated, that has a good job, and let's see if that woman wants you because you are not the same level as her. You know what I mean? They they want everything. This, I mean, we are talking about standards that 20, 30-year-old women have. But also let's talk about the men that I am looking like between 42 and 50 something. They are looking for women like that are young, will good body, good looks, etc. And the only women that are on that standard is the 20 or 30s, because the ones that are after that, we are working,
Mm-hmm.
we are making our
Mostly
future.
divorced, so you
Mostly
went
divorced.
through.
We already have kids, maybe. We're planning our future. So we don't have time for that shit that they want.
Mm-hmm.
So if this man or this group of men wants a woman like that, then don't complain that they were the gold diggers, because that's the only thing that you will find, gold diggers.
Yes, I
And
think
if you want someone that really fulfills your life, then you educate yourself, go to a different places, find a woman that fits, like she's 40 something. Yes, she will have kids most likely, but she will have her shit together. She
yeah,
will have a
I
future
think
already planned.
it's all about, well, standards and what is represented on, what, like it's all about, oh, will I look good to others? Like others' opinion always matters. So you want to have someone that is based on the accepted physical standards that we have, and it doesn't, like right now, nothing really promotes personality or chemistry, right? And then when you go to dating apps,
Education, yeah.
when you go to older people, well, I guess my age, it's
How old are you?
like they you have some of them that are still looking like for the good looking guy or whatever, and probably accept that you will have over girls on the side or whatever. But you have a lot that are saying, okay, I just want somebody that is a good companion, that will have a chemistry or emotionally available, because this is the big thing. You need to be emotionally available, which is very hard for a man, I guess. But yeah, we are, I think, fooled by all these standards, and I think the fact that we're always online is also creating new standards. All these standards that were basically based on religion before, or what society is accepting based on this religious foundation, and now we're changing it into like from the influence of online, the online power of the
Social
online,
media.
social media and everything. And I think it's a good thing that we change our standards, but it needs to be on the ground that is also acceptable, like with a high tolerance and respect, which is still not the same, which is not the case right now, because you need to, like, it's kind of the same of the movie we watched, The Triangle of Sadness, which is supposed to be a satire. And I don't think it's a great movie, even though it was praised
It
a lot.
was okay.
It was okay. But if that's what it represents, it's like, what...
How mess the society is, and what is your role
Yeah.
in, but
And the power that you get.
going back to the open relationships,
Yes.
and how this will change society. I think a lot of people would have avoided so much pain and so much trouble if this option would have been presented at the very beginning when they start a relationship. It's not something that you like, oh, we are in an open relationship, so tomorrow I may meet someone and that's it. I don't think that's the core of an open relationship.
But I mean, I think there are different...
But they are.
different types.
I'm not an expert, but what I do think is that having this option would have saved a lot of families of being broken, and like divorces that are messy, just because
broke family and people.
because they think that they were cheated. Yes, that's for sure. But what would have been the difference? You knew for so many years that your husband or your wife was cheating on you, and you accept that just because the society was telling you have to be at home, you have to stay at home for the kids. A lot of women they already knew that they were be cheating on, or the husband, and basically they were living a open relationship, but they did not accept that just because society or religion, they would say like, no, it's just like you keep it under the rug, everything is fine. And then broken marriage and broken kids. That's what I'm saying. Like open relationships, it's a good start for saving society of broken homes.
It made a lot of damage. So it's based on this hypocrisy of like there are expectations and our standards, and that's what I wanted to finish with, is that as on different levels, emotional, physical, we have different needs because we are one person that is different from another, and that's our wealth as human beings. We are different and we have different needs. By creating we need to create standards in terms of like things that are really, crimes that are hurting others. But we need to stop with the hypocrisy, because expectations and standards versus needs is not viable for anyone. It just keeps people under control. So you need to see who it is benefiting. And I think what is good, I think now, is that a lot of more people are more tuned to their body and their mind, or they want to, at least, with all these wellness programs and things. And they want to find their true nature. Like there's nothing wrong with them if they go against the principles or the rules that we had before, just as with homosexuality. So that now they can accept that there's nothing wrong with them, and they can accept and embrace their true nature, and everything will be fine. I think it's the same thing. So you need to, on open relationships, I think you need to accept that it's not going to be one kind, because obviously we both cannot define the type of open relationships people have, and I think it's okay. We just need to accept that everybody can make their own rule, and one couple, and you will have one
without being judged.
Yeah, exactly. And
I need to find someone that wants to be in an open relationship.
But do you want to be in an open relationship?
Maybe.
Okay.
You?
So,
I mean, if I find this person that it's honest, that the trust is there and the communication, then yes. And put rules. Rules are important.
Yeah, I think it really depends on who you're with, and because it's a two-way, you give and you receive. I don't think we don't use the same part of our personality with different person. It doesn't mean that there's something wrong. I just think if you love someone and this person has certain standards or expectations, you need to find out which ones are acceptable or not, and that will build the relationship or make it last. But it doesn't mean that you're not exactly the same. So I think it depends on the person you're with. But now I have a little trivia for you to close this episode of Super Right Now.
Ooh, the excitement.
So
hey, let's do an intro for the trivia. Trivia. Question. Trivia. Trivia.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
It's not me clapping. So.
Oh, really?
What? First question. Tell me, what percentage of people in the United States
it's for real.
report having cheated on a significant other at some point in their lives? Percentage.
I would say nearly. I cannot be exact because but if I'm in the middle of it,
the goal is to guess, yes.
Okay. It's going to be around 55%.
More than half people cheating?
Yes.
Okay. So they reported. Okay, it's different from people having done it, because we cannot really have data about that.
Yeah. Liars.
We only have data about the people that actually accepted to report it. So the percentage of people who accepted to report having cheated on a significant other is 20%.
Mentirosos, liars. Where is the other 37%?
So two out of 10, which I think, in reality, it's way higher. It's just the people that accepted answering the question.
Liars.
Honestly. Okay. What is the most common reason for the reason why people cheated?
No
at first
sex.
place?
No sex.
So,
No sex in the marriage or in the relationship.
so the most common reason is the lack of emotional satisfaction in their current relationship.
No sex.
So it's
so I could be
emotional.
a man, seriously. Like,
So,
what if I am Fiona?
if you know, yeah, it's emotional more than sexual. Sorry. Now, in what country in the world people report again? They admit. People admit having the in what country they have the highest rates of infidelity?
It could be Hispanic because of the.
No, but Hispanic, there are there are two Christians to admit it. So remember, we're talking about the one who honestly answered.
Americans?
No, Thailand. Over 60 people who answered reported that they have cheated on a significant other.
And why do you think in Thailand?
Over 60%.
But why do you think in Thailand?
This is interesting data. It's probably because they feel like they're I don't know Thailand. They're probably more open about this type of things. So you probably have a higher rate of people answering honestly than in the US or in Latin countries.
Why?
Well, I don't know Thailand.
Research.
Okay,
no,
but
in the next episode, Pepe will let us know why Thailand.
No, I won't. But you look it up yourself. But it's funny because It's interesting because we are closer to your 55%. So that means that depending on the country and of free they feel to say the truth about this, then maybe we're closer to the truth. So I think maybe 50% is the actual number that we'll probably never know about unless we are.
So I am close. I'm super honest.
Okay. True or false? Men are more likely to cheat than women.
Yeah, of course. Yes.
False. True. Studies have found that men and women cheat at roughly similar rates.
Well, right now, because that comes with equality and that comes with women more like working more than before.
Yes, empowered women.
Yes.
It's ruining men. Alpha male forever. Okay, so what is the most common age at which people report cheating on a significant other?
I would say at the beginning, late 30s or beginning of the 40s. It's because you are like in the newest stage of your life, because you have a good job.
Yes, so that makes sense for what you're saying, but we're talking about people reporting it. So
maybe
the thing
50s
is that
after they did it.
No, people admitting it. So because of the changing society, older people are less likely to admit it than younger people, right?
Okay.
It comes to society. And so that's why I think it's...
No, we want facts.
The numbers are 25 to 34.
Oh, chai.
So young. And I think it's because they're more prone to admit it than older people.
Because they don't care. They have less attachment.
Oh, okay. True or false? People who cheat are more likely to have lower levels of commitment to their relationships.
Commitment. Okay, can you repeat that question?
People who cheat are more likely to have lower levels of commitment to their relationship.
No, it's false.
You are false. It's true. Research has suggested that people who cheat tend to have lower levels of commitment to their relationships. Although other factors such as relationship satisfaction and opportunity can also play a role. So it's, yeah.
See? I'm innocent. I'm naive.
Oh, the interesting one. And maybe it comes back to your sexual needs that you think is the main reason why.
I'm a man. Okay.
Wait. What percentage of people who cheat do so because they are unhappy in their relationship?
What people?
What percentage of people who cheat do so because they are unhappy in their relationship?
80%.
38.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying, like, if only 38% do so because they are unhappy in their relationship,
The
it
other,
might come with sexual, emotional needs, or, well, sexual needs. I don't know. There are other needs that are not fulfilled, but obviously,
if you cheat at some point in the future, what do you think your personality, like, you know yourself? So if at some point you see yourself cheating on someone, what the reason would be?
for me,
Uh-huh. For me, I know I would be sexual.
okay. No, for me, it's just I think the satisfaction of being desired,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't want to disappoint people. So if they desire me, then I don't want to disappoint them.
See, he's very elaborate. I'm just very basic. Sexual.
True or false? Infidelity is more common in a relationship where one partner travels frequently for work.
Not necessarily.
True.
Oh,
Yes. And true or false? People who cheat are more likely to have cheated on previous partners.
Yes.
True.
See?
Of course.
A cheater is always a cheater.
Yes. Okay, now we're going back to your basic needs. What percentage of people who cheat do so because they are not sexually satisfied in their relationship?
Just, okay, making 40%.
Okay, it's half. According to a study by the University of Guelph,
Those, I think,
about 20% of people who cheat do so because they are not sexually satisfied. So it's 2 out of 10.
What is this university? Like, like all these surveys, they like the University of Sacramento, blah, blah, blah. I don't know about
Well,
that.
it's still a study. It's still like more people answering than just Fiona.
No, I believe that I have the truth.
Yes. That's good. Okay, now last one.
Aww.
What percentage of people who cheat do so because they are seeking novelty or change in their lives?
90%.
About 15% of people who cheat
yeah.
do so because they are seeking novelty or change in their lives. Only 15%.
15?
Yes, 15.
Yeah. See?
So the thing is that we're trying to put people in boxes and have standards for everything and try to make it simple.
Mm-hmm.
But human beings are very complex. And the reason why they do one thing might have thousands of reasons.
Okay, so open relationship is the answer. We wouldn't have discussed
Okay,
this.
this was not the goal of this episode,
Survey?
to say like you talk about open relationship, but you're still coming back to it. Apparently, you have a plan in mind.
Yes, I do have a plan in mind. I just need someone that is on board. That's it. Oh. Okay.
Okay, well, maybe we'll talk about open relationship, the different types, because we need to do some research. I mean, I do.
Yeah, no, we do. Next episode.
Maybe not next, but at some point. I mean, if somebody likes...
Comment. Comment there. And if you like to hear more about open relationships and our great input, then just like and comment.
Yeah, I think on the next episode, we'll talk about our favorite movies from last year or what we're looking for next year, something a little bit lighter. Maybe? No?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, we'll see. Anyway, for
but
now...
this was the end of the trivia. We didn't sing.
What do you want to sing?
Trivia.
Oh.
I don't even know. It was trivia. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, thank you very much. See you next time.
Bye.
On the newspaper right now. Bye.
Besos.
Besos para todos. Bye. Have a great day and sex. Bye.